Exactly.
Or she might kick him out, but that goes to that curse brother brought out earlier. Now she don't need you no more, in a sense. Because she thinks she are you now.
Exactly.
Right.
So don't let the world dictate how y'all supposed to be towards one another. Right. This Bible is supposed to dictate how y'all are supposed to be with each other.
That's right.
And that's for personal experience with seeing how my grandmother was to my grandfather and how my grandfather was to my grandmother.
Right.
Now I got my grandmother's Bible. She had a whole bunch of notes of how a woman is supposed to be. And they were married for 50 plus years. You don't see relationships or marriages go for that long because a lot of our people are not governing their relationship, their marriage, based off the Bible. The Bible is where it's at. The knowledge of the Lord is what's going to cause y'all to stay together forever and ever. Right? That should be the goal. Right? And that should be set for example for our people. Right? You don't?
The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment. For all that do so are abomination to the Lord thy God.
All that do so are an abomination to the Lord. Didn't we read that the Lord hates all abominations? So if you do those acts, you're now an abomination and the Lord hates you now. So now, there ain't no kingdom, there's no heaven for you, right? Unless you repent and change, right? Unless you repent and change. You gotta read somebody?
This is the book of 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse number 9. In like manner also, the women adorn themselves in modest apparel.
So women have to adorn themselves in modest apparel. What is modest? Modesty is a dress, being covered up, right? You know?
With shamefacedness and sobriety, not with braided hair.
Not with what?
Not with braided hair.
Right, not with all these different type of these hairstyles. You might go to the beauty supply store and get a whole nother person's hair in your hair.
Right.
That's all. Huh? You might go to the Africans. They might put braids in your hair. You know how they do. They heavy-handed. Right. They kind of have your scalp peeled back. Right?
Edges off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, and they do that on purpose too, because they jealous of you. They do that on purpose.
This is where
Rip
it's
your
at.
edges off.
This is where it lies all the essence to life for anything. Right? You know?
Not with braided hair or gold or pearl or costly array.
It's not that outside appearance. It's really what's in the inside. Right?
But which becoming women professing godliness with good works.
See, that godliness with good works is what? Keeping the laws of the Lord, right? Being submissive unto your husband, right? Following his leadership, right? Making sure that you're doing your part for your husband, right? No?
Come. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection.
Because just like a brother said earlier, a woman's silence is power, right? It's a lot that comes with that. Right? Now y'all on one accord, now y'all really that one flesh, you know?
But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the
So
man.
you can't usurp authority over your husband, right? Because why? He's the man of the household. He's supposed to be the leader. Let me get that at 1 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 3, and we'll go back to the book, right? Because to be honest, this is important for our people to know. How many people learn that, hey, the man is the leader? A lot of times women want to be the leaders, right? And now you got baby kids. You got all these different kids and things now, right? Doing whatever they want because they not a father, not in the house no more. The father ain't want to deal with that no more, so he kind of left, right? But we should have our households together in unity. Right, so bring it up.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse number 3.
Bring it up.
But I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
So the head of every man is Christ, right? Read on.
And the head of the woman is the man.
The head of the woman is the man. The brother know the scripture. Right. The head of the woman is the man, read on.
And the head of Christ is God.
And Christ our King he got a head. He has a leader. A head, your head is your leader.
Right.
Christ has a leader, right? And we have a leader, which is Christ, and the women do too, which is the man. And so it goes, and the children. So it'll go down from the Most High God to Christ, to the man, then to the women, then the children. Right? That's the order of the Most High God. And how can we go against the order? Right? You see what I'm saying?
Because even with that order, women sometimes get misconstrued. You have a very crucial part. You controlling the household. So this next generation is going to get taught by you because you're over the children. Like, that's a heavy thing. So he's going now, he has to teach you properly. So now you can teach the next generation that you all properly. Like, people think that that's light, but no, that's major. Because the generation that goes on, about what you're going to teach that household. So if you're bitter and messed up, that's how this household becomes in you. But if he's teaching you and you become that pillar of the household, an extension of him, and teaching your next lineage in the right way, that's how the lineage keeps going in the right way.
And when you read the Willie Lynch letter, that's where it all really started. By separating the man from the woman, by making the woman on this high pedestal and bringing the man low, to causing the woman to now listen to the slave master instead of her husband, right? Making him weak to make her think that she's above and mighty, right? In this world, you see women like that today. You know, Cardi B said this morning on, Carnal, she said, I don't cook, I don't clean. I said, kind of put the camera to her. He told her, hey, she be lying.
Right.
She be lying.
Put her back
you
to
over there cooking,
right.
cleaning, sleeping, everything.
Right.
Right. So we can't really listen to these, right? We can't really listen to these rappers. We got to listen to the Bible. Right. So bring up that, what I call it?
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 31, and verse number 12. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak thou also unto the children of Israel, saying, Verily, my Sabbath ye shall keep.
My what?
My Sabbath ye shall keep.
So we have to keep the Sabbath day. Let me get Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 3. Right? You know?
For it is a sign between me and you throughout your generations, and that ye may know that I am the Lord that does sanctify you.
Right, you know?
Ye shall keep the Sabbath therefore, for it is holy unto you. Every one that defileth shall surely be put to death.
Read that again.
Everyone that defileth shall surely be put to death.
Now the Sabbath day is right now. It's from sundown to sundown, right? Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. Right? Today, since Saturday at sundown, the Sabbath will be over. But right now it's still the Sabbath because the sun is still up. Right? So we don't want to defile the Sabbath day. Now we got to learn about the Sabbath day because the Lord made it holy or a sign unto the children of Israel. Right? You know?
For whosoever doeth any work therein, that soul shall be cut off from among his people. 6 days may work be done.
So you do your work all in 6 days, right? Your Sunday through Friday before Sunday, right? We don't.
But in the seventh is the Sabbath of rest.
What day is the seventh day? Saturday. Calendar, right? Your first day technically starts on Sunday, right? The seventh day will have to be Saturday, right? But it's from Shalom.
There you go.
Right? It's from Friday, sundown, and Saturday, sundown, right?
Right.
We don't.
It says, whosoever doeth any work in the Sabbath day, he shall surely be put to death.
The Lord said if you do work on his Sabbath day, the Lord is liable to kill you.
Right.
He said he will kill you if you do any work. Now we should all know the story of the man that tried to gather up sticks upon the Sabbath day,
right.
And the Lord told the congregation of Israel to what? Kill him.
Right.
He must surely be put to death. Right? Just to show you an example of how it needs to go. Right? The Lord gave you literally a rest day. Kick up your feet, relax. We are in captivity right now. Nobody should be wanting to work 7 days a week.
Right.
Right? Kind of slave, right? Hard labor for the so-called white man. Day in and day out. No, the Lord told you on the seventh day, take your rest. Right? You know?
Wherefore the children of Israel shall keep my Sabbath,
right,
to observe the Sabbath throughout their generations.
You gotta observe the Sabbath throughout your generations.
For a perpetual covenant.
Right? It's a perpetual covenant. It's a covenant between the children of Israel and the Most High God. So you have to keep this day holy and separate from every other day. So there's no working. Let me get Nehemiah chapter 10 verse 31.
I like your bless. Where'd you get them from?
All praise to brother, bless me.
Brother bless you.
Yeah, brother bless me. We'll get back to that in a second.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 23 and verse number 3.
Bring it up.
6 days shall the work be done, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of rest.
So it said the Sabbath of rest. You must rest on this day, right? You know?
And holy convocation.
A what?
And holy
convocation.
A holy convocation is a holy gathering, a separate gathering. you should want to come around righteous brothers and sisters that keep the Sabbath day just like you. Why you think that we gather together right now? Because the Lord said it's a holy convocation, you know?
Ye shall do no work therein.
You can't do any work on the Sabbath day, you know?
It is the Sabbath day of the Lord in all your dwellings.
So it's wherever you go, it's the Sabbath day, right? So if your boss kind of call you in, you be like, hey, man, I need you to work. I need you to come in. Right, on Saturday, we got a lot of work that being done. You can't kind of say, oh, I'll be there early. No, you got to tell him, hey, I can't work on Saturday because it's the Sabbath of the Lord. Because it's a religious accommodation, as they would say in the world. But as we know, this is our tradition, this is our heritage, right? Our culture, right? Our culture is not kind of rapping, right? Rapping, playing football, playing basketball, right? Twerking on damn cars, man. That's not our heritage. That's not our culture. Our culture is keeping the commandments of the Lord, right?
This is the book of Nehemiah, chapter 13 and verse 15. In those days saw I in Judah some treading wine presses on the Sabbath and bringing in sheaves and lading asses, also wine grapes and figs and all manner of burdens, which they brought into Jerusalem on the Sabbath day. And I testified against them in the day wherein they sold victuals. There dwelt men of Tyre also therein, which bought fish and all manner of ware.
So there was many that were selling and buying on the Sabbath day, right? Read on.
And sold on the Sabbath unto the children of Judah and in Jerusalem. Then I contended with the nobles of Judah and said unto them,
what Nehemiah said?
What evil thing is this that ye do to profane the Sabbath day?
It's considered an evil thing to buy or sell on the Sabbath day, read on.
Did not your fathers thus? And did not God bring all this evil upon us?
He's telling you, didn't your fathers do these same things and the Lord punished them for it? Read on.
And upon this city, yet ye bring more wrath upon Israel by profaning the Sabbath.
You keep our people in poverty by profaning the Sabbath day of the Lord. You keep your people where they at. You keep yourself at a low estate by profaning the Sabbath day of the Lord. Read on.
Verse 19. And it came to pass when the gates of Jerusalem began to be dark before the Sabbath, I commanded that the gates should be shut and charged that they should not be open till after the Sabbath.
So Nehemiah was kind of, he was rebuking them, getting on them. He kind of told them, hey, shut the doors, right? if your wife want to go outside and kind of go buy some groceries, you got to tell her, hey, no, this is Sabbath day. Kind of close the door just as Nehemiah. Right, read on.
And some of my servants set I at the gates, that there should no burden be brought in on the Sabbath day.
There's no work, there's no selling, there's nothing that you should be doing like that, of that like manner on the Sabbath day, you know?
So the merchants and the sellers of all kinds of ware lodged without Jerusalem once or twice. So I testified against them and said unto them, why lodge ye about this wall? If ye do so again, I will lay hands on you.
I will do what?
I will lay hands on you.
Nehemiah say?
I'm gonna lay hands on you.
Nehemiah is one of our forefathers too. Right? He said, if you do any of these things, work, buying, and selling on the Sabbath day, I'm going to put hands on you. I'm going to whip your ass.
I'm punch you in your throat.
I'm going to slide on you. Right? In my terms.
I'm going to kick your chest in.
Right? This is what the Most High God commanded of us. So there's no work, buying, or selling on the Sabbath day. Let me get Exodus chapter 32. What's going on?
From that time forth came they no more on the Sabbath.
So now they continue to, hey, they had to fear the Lord at that point.
Right.
Seeing Nehemiah getting ready to get down on them. Let me get Exodus chapter 32.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 35 and verse number 2.
Bring it up.
6 days shall work be done.
Now, when you hear that 6 days shall work be done, we still talking about what? What we talking about still? You don't know what we talking about? Brother, what we talking about right now?
I got distracted there.
6 days shall work be done.
It's gotta be like the 4th or 5th time we done said, so, read that again?
6 days shall work be
So
done.
when you kind of hear that, what we talking about?
Right.
There you go.
But on the 7th day, but on the 7th day, there shall be unto you an holy day, a Sabbath of rest to the Lord. Whosoever doeth work therein shall be put to death. Ye shall kindle no fire throughout the inhabitants upon the Sabbath day.
Read that again.
Ye shall kindle no fire throughout your inhabitation upon the Sabbath day.
So there is no cooking on the Sabbath day, right? Cooking could go into what? Kindling a fire upon the Sabbath day, or even much more working, right? You should do none of those things, right? Because the Lord commanded them. So there's no working, there's no buying or selling, and there's no cooking on the Sabbath day, right? You have to do exactly what the Lord told you to do, right? You have to, right? Because what the Lord say, if you profane the Sabbath day, what's gonna happen? You shall what? You shall die. The Lord's going to eventually put you to death, right? So you have to do these things so that you can be in a good stance with the Lord. Let me get Proverbs chapter 4, verse 7. Let me get Sirach. Let me get Sirach chapter 17, verse 11.
We gotta pick up our
Okay.
And these things not hard to do.
John.
So people think no cooking. Oh, what am I gonna do? Well, you got cereal, you got salad, you got pasta salad. You know what I'm saying?
Sandwiches,
Right.
yeah.
That's
Make
not the spiritual, it's more of the flesh that's like the hard part. Because spiritually we deaf with God. It's just our bodies, which is made from dirt and earth. That's why it be so hard to like mix.
But that's why you need. But that's why you need to wear your what? So that you go what?
Remember, it's not hard. You gotta know that the Lord knew what kind of routes our people was gonna take, kind of say, oh, the flesh, he got me beat.
He created
right?
us.
I can't
He know
do
what the hell
it.
we
Right?
doing.
The Lord said,
Right.
I just say what
Right. You can't finesse the Lord. He made you.
So you can't make that excuse. There's no excuses. You have to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. There's no way out of this. Right? Bring it up.
Hey, Salakia, quick thing, bro. You can't finesse the Lord. He made you. He made you. He already know what you're gonna say. He already put the thoughts in your mind. You try to make excuses. That's why he got everything already in the Bible covered up.
Right.
Everything you need, he already know what you need. He made you.
Most people hear us.
So stop trying to finesse him.
You finessing us. Like you ain't finessing
Right,
us.
you ain't finessing us.
We just messengers to come
Right.
with the word of the Lord. He the one gonna see you and see if you're doing it.
Right.
Right.
Now, if you want to be around us, we can hold each other accountable. That's one thing, but you ain't finessing us. Like the Lord said, the Lord sees it, man. He knows
Hey,
what you're thinking.
and one more thing, we gonna say this: if the Lord called one of us for a witness, we ain't gonna lie.
No,
You see what I'm saying?
I'm snitching.
We ain't gonna lie. We gonna tell the truth. Right? We tell it.
The Lord kind of
So-
asks you,
I know
hey,
the word
Right.
says no snitching, but righteous snitching?
Right.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
we
yeah,
tell
yeah.
it.
Hey, right.
It's day on that time.
Right.
Right.
The Lord kind of asks us, hey, did this brother, did this brother have his fringes on? Did this brother eat the, hey, Lord,
We tell
did
it.
it.
We tell it, bro.
Complaining, he said it was because of his flesh. He made his, we can't lie to the Lord. How can you lie to me? Our hands are not big enough, or our arms are not long enough to box with God. Right? So we can't do any of those things. So there's literally no excuses you can make, but just to keep the commandments of the Lord. Right? Bring it up.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 4 and verse 7.
Bring it out.
Wisdom is the principal thing. Read that again.
Wisdom is the principal thing.
Wisdom is the principal thing. The principal thing means the most important thing, because
Right.
with wisdom comes everything else. Literally.
Right.
Read on.
Therefore, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding.
You're getting wisdom right now, because wisdom, like in Proverbs chapter 1 and verse number 20, it says, wisdom crieth out in the streets. That's where you get your wisdom from.
Right.
It's not kind of waking up early, right? You got your church pants on, you got your church dress on, right? You going into past the pork knuckles church, right? You kind of getting the communion crackers, right? And getting the wine or the other grape juice,
The Welch's.
right? That's where you don't get your wisdom from. You get it from out here, literally right here. You're gaining more wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the scriptures than you ever did in your whole time. Like how old are you? You're 23, man. For 23 years, you didn't know who you were, right? But now you're gaining that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding now. And it said, with all thy getting, you get understanding.
Right.
So you knew scriptures already, right? You probably was implementing them, trying slowly but surely. But now you're getting the understanding of why you have to do it and how you have to do it. You see what I'm saying? Bring it up. Let me get Ecclesiastes chapter 13.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 17, and verse number 11. Besides this, he gave them knowledge and the law of life for inheritance.
For the what?
For
Inheritance.
So the laws are for heritage. Your heritage are your certain traditions or things that you have to keep for the Most High God. right? The laws of the Lord is what you should be keeping. The laws of the Lord is what should be on your mind at all times, right? Because that's what's going to keep you in great stands with the Lord. It's going to keep you in the green light with the Lord. You don't want to be on red light, right? You don't want to kind of have the Lord looking at you like, I got to kill this thing, right? You don't want to do
Don't
that.
on that hit list.
Don't even
Right.
check the Lord.
Don't get on his hit list.
Right?
Right.
Let me get ISRAELITE chapter 5, verse 7. Before we get back here.
This is the book of Sirach. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 5, and verse number 7.
Bring it up.
Make no tarry to turn to the Lord.
That again?
Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord.
Don't be that type to be like, I might stop eating pork tomorrow. I might get my last shrimp tonight. No, right? The Lord said, don't make no tarrying to turn to the Lord. Don't try to take your time, right? Read on.
And put off from day to day.
Don't try to put off day to day. Man, I know I got the money for the fringes, but I might get them like a month from now. Right? The store is always there. No, you can't do that. Huh? Right? You got to get them as soon as possible because we're living in the last days, and tomorrow is not promised to nobody. You don't want to die in your iniquity, right? You know?
For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth,
Right?
and in the security thou shalt be destroyed.
Right? In your security, you'll be destroyed. Where you in your private place, right? You might be at home. You tarrying to turn to the Lord. You trying to put off from day to day. The Lord might smite you, right? He might get rid of you because now you playing, right? You playing games, right? And a father that with a child don't like when his child trying to pull on him, right? I know what you're doing, right? Like you can't pull a fast one. You know what I'm saying?
So you
have
insulting
to-
my intelligence.
Right. You have to haste in turning to the Lord now before it's too late. Because you see how America's going. America finna go into World War III. Right? There's gonna be FEMA camps. Right? Martial law gonna kick off. Right? There's gonna be no more Chicago police when martial law kick off. It's gonna be the military on these streets telling you to get in the house. The military, when they get on these streets, they don't have handcuffs. Right? They got shoot to kill orders if they catch you outside of curfew. Right? So you want to make sure that you're in good stands with the Lord, right, before those times come. Because it's free to walk up and down the streets right now, right? It's free to, drive your cars right now. But when the days come, right, you're not going to be able to do any of those things. A lot of people's going to be scared to walk out on these streets. You ever seen This Is the End? Or what's that one with Will Smith? Yeah. What's that one with Will Smith?
I Am Legend.
You ever seen I Am Legend? Right, the grass kind of coming up from the concrete. You got lions running around, tigers and bears running around. Right, that's how it's gonna be in these last days. So you want to make the book of Eli too. Right? You want to remember to turn to the Lord, or you want to try your best to do it now before it's too late. You see what I'm saying? Right? Let me get.
This is the book of 1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse number 15.
Look it out.
Meditate upon these things. Give thyself wholly to them, that thy profit may appear to all. Take heed to thyself and unto the doctrine. Continue in them, for in doing this thou shalt save both thyself and them that hear thee.
So you have to continue in this word so that you can save yourself and everybody that hears it. Because you might have children, you want your children to live too. You want your children to make it to the kingdom right along with you. You gotta make sure that you're walking in these laws that you're the same way. Right? You want to make sure that you're staying, you taking heed to yourself. Right? You watching and examining yourself all the time. Right? If one see the other one, right, not putting down the pork, hey, you kind of got to get that away from your significant other. Right? If you see her not putting down the shrimp, you kind of got to. No more shrimp. The Lord said we can't eat those things. Huh? Right? Y'all might both walk in together. Right? Y'all going into JJ's fish. Right? And y'all trying to grab y'all a 4-piece catfish nugget.
Get the purse.
Right.
The purse.
Right? But then when y'all both are walking in there, y'all both should be having y'all fringes on. And one of y'all or both of y'all should touch some things and be like, yeah, we ain't got no business being here. Hey, let's go home. We got some tilapia fish in the freezer. Right? You got some mac and cheese with the mac and cheese up. Right? We got the cornbread. We got the spaghetti. Right? You don't need those things, bro.
Right? You eat the perch.
You got to eat the perch. right? Tilapia too. You got salmon, right? You got all these tuna. You got all these cod, right? You got my favorite red snapper.
Red snapper,
Come on,
right.
man. You got all these different foods. You don't need the shrimp, crab, lobster, catfish, or pork.
Whiting fish.
Whiting, huh? Right? So the Lord gave you all these things so that you ain't got to deal with those, you know, with those unclean foods anymore. You see what I'm saying? Right, so I'm bringing this.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, and verse number 13.
Bring it out.
Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter.
So this is the whole conclusion. This is the whole point of what we're talking about right now. You know?
Fear God.
What?
Fear God.
You gotta fear God. You know?
And
And
keep his commandments.
And you have to keep his commandments. Why?
For
This is the whole duty of man.
This is why you was created to be a man, and this is why you was created to be a woman, to fear God and keep his commandments. You see what I'm saying? Bring this up.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 30, and verse number 21.
Bring it out.
And thy ears shall hear a word behind these saying.
Lucky, because I know, you know, before I got up here, a brother kind of said, hey, come, you see yourself on his son? He kind of called you over. That's that voice hearing behind you, right? That's what you heard behind you saying what?
And thy ears shall hear a word behind thee saying, this is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way.
The Lord say.
This is the way.
This is the way. Read on.
Walk ye in it.
Do what?
Walk ye in
What we
it.
gotta do?
Walk ye in
Hey,
it.
the Lord said this is the way, and you have to walk into it. You gotta come back to your nationality. You gotta take your nationality. You gotta take this thing serious, right? Read on.
When ye turn to the right hand and when ye turn to the left.
Whichever way you don't turn to the right hand or to the left. Whichever way you turn is gonna eventually lead you back to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord. You have to keep these. It's mandatory as being God's chosen people.
Rock it to Yahweh! Rock it to Yahweh! Rock it to Yahweh!
Rock it to Yahweh!
Rock it to Yahweh!
Rock it to Yahweh!
Rock it to Yahweh!
Rock it to Yahweh!
Rock it to Yahweh!
Rock it to Yahweh!
Rock it to Yahweh!
Rock it to Yahweh!
Come yourself!
Come yourself!
Come yourself!
Come yourself!
Come yourself!
Come yourself!
Who got next?
We got next.
Who got next?
We got next. We got next.
What we gonna do?
Take the king.
What we gonna do?
Take the king.
What we gonna do?
Take the king.
Where?
Now.
Where?
Now.
Where?
Now.
How?
Bashum Mashak Yahusha.
If it has.
Bashum Mashak Yahusha.
If I say how.
Bashum Mashak Yahusha.
Come yourself!
Come yourself.